Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Kathy's Corner, Seed in the Sand, and this is Kathy's Corner, Seed in the Sand. This is chapter 7 of Healing Myself. And Daisy wanted to say hello, and I just wanted to say thank you again for being such loyal and kind people to share and hopefully share with me. Again, this is a channel that is about mental illness and surviving in today's world with NGI, which is a not guilty by reason of mental defect or disease or insanity. And I see things that say, they should never, or they should always be contained or locked up or shut out of society. And my purpose of this channel is to say that's not true. We don't have to have, not everybody is all sick all the time. It's not all or nothing. There's happy mediums. There's ebbs and flows. There's goods and there's bad days, and so that's why I do this. And if you go back to the beginning of my channel, I'd be crying and crying and crying, saying it's so hard, it's so hard, it's so hard. It's hard finding jobs. It's hard explaining the situation. It's hard doing background checks. It's hard living in a society that people know one day of your life that was a terrible, terrible day with a medical emergency, and you are branded for the rest of your life with that day. That's what this channel is about. To say there are so many other days that are good days, that are we're making it. We're putting one foot in front of another. We're crying our way through it. And so I'm excited to have this challenge, but it's also very hard. It's hard to know that people from my hometown watch this channel sometimes, from time to time, and they say, "Ugh, yeah, it's just her," No, I am a person just like everybody else is a person. I am worthy of respect just like everybody else is worthy of respect. And that's what this whole channel is about. And so I'm all about new beginnings. I'm all about fresh starts. I'm all about starting over again. And life doesn't have to be so hard. I'm learning to let go of the pain, which is very hard to do. That stigma is not easy to let go of, and a lot of people that haven't gone through this don't understand the magnitude of it. But I do it anyway, and and it is what it is. And now, I said it again. It's hard, but we don't have to live in hard forever. It doesn't have to be hard forever. Sometimes I'm going through a lot of stuff, and that's why I didn't post for the last couple of days. I'm going through a lot of feelings of like, is there a God? Is there a savior that's coming to rescue us? I don't know. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. That's just my own opinion, and or is it going to be, just this hard for the rest of my life? Am I going to feel like I'm in a straitjacket, locked in a room where you scream and nobody hears you, and you're always going to get the short end of the stick? That's the feeling that I get in my life sometimes. And That's why I didn't post for a couple days, because I was really feeling down. I was really getting low, and I'm kind of picking myself up again, kind of bringing myself back to, you know, no, sometimes things work out where the people that have harmed you or have wronged you have to be accountable for their actions. There has to be a day when the people that intentionally hurt you have to face the music. And whether that day actually comes or not, I don't know. But it did feel like I'm like confined, and the eight of what is that? The Eight of Wands card, Eight of Swords, I think it is. Where you're just bound in your mouth and your arms and your legs, but your feet are willing to walk, but you're bound, and that's kind of how I was feeling. So, all right, these are the classic tarot cards, and I picked 3 cards. One for the past, one for the present, and one for the future. Okay, so for the past we have the Knight of Cups. I like this card because it's a good protector. He's like the teenage brother that's going to fight for you and take care of you and make sure you're okay. So, all right. Then we have the King of Pentacles. Had that one yesterday. That father figure that's watching over our garden, making sure our seeds are taken care of and planted and coming up just right. And then we have the Six of Swords, and they're moving on with their swords. Kind of feeling defeated, kind of feeling depleted, but they're moving on with their life. And then we end with the Six of Wands, which is the celebration card. So that kind of shows me that, yeah, it's kind of hard, and everything is not always going to be just, as easy as can be, but we'll get through it, and we get through it, and there is a celebration at the end. Hopefully, in my situation, I will have a celebration, and I will say, all this work that I've prepared, all these seeds that I planted, all these people that I try to touch in my life, it comes to, like that garden comes to proliferation and comes to life. So, all right, these are the Healing Spirit cards by Gordon Smith. And the intention I'm setting in this card is just that, coming back to life. All right. Sorry. Finding my glasses here. All right. And this says, don't fear change, embrace it and grow. Looks like that. Daisy is always very interested in my my cards. So, all right. Change is a large part of the human journey, and in order to grow, you have to know change at some point. The wise spirits, sages, and masters know that everything in the human world is impermanent and will therefore change. And because of this, they will accept transformation. Watching life evolve over time has taught them that those who learn not to resist evolutionary changes will always survive, whereas those who struggle with them will not. It is because life is always changing that there are so many lessons that can be learned here. Now is not the time to concern yourself with being right or wrong. It is time to change and adapt. Accept this and you will grow. You already know what's this in your heart. I love that. Transformation, that feeling of evolution. If you don't evolve, you're never going to be able to survive. And whether that's a new job, if that's a new home, a new situation, change is evolutionary. And we have to all change. And we are moving forward. And that was a great card for me to remember, that evolution is necessary for change and for growth and for transformation. And in order to survive, we have to evolve. So, all right. Well, I wish everybody a beautiful day, and we'll chat with you tomorrow.